So I'm Fergus Crawley, I'm 25 years old, I'm from Edinburgh, even though it sounds like I'm from somewhere in the north of England. I class myself as a hybrid athlete as I balance strength and endurance concurrently, but try to basically go through cycles of focusing on specific things for a little longer periods with the other, and just keep a base of strength and endurance. So I compete in anything from ultra marathons to full distance triathlons, extreme triathlons, whilst still being able to squat 220 kilos plus as a baseline. Don't ask me about a bench press because that's irrelevant, but it's balancing strength and endurance is what I do. Background in rugby, background in powerlifting, but I've kind of found what I enjoy now and focus on doing as much of that as I can. Typical day is up at 5. I spend the first hour of my day eating, taking the dogs out, making sure the dogs have eaten, checking emails briefly, sort of any urgent emails. Then I'll sort of get ready to head to work for about 6, get in the car, get to work for about 7, try and get as much of my work done, boxed off by 3, 4. That is online coaching for hybrid athletes, some podcast work for The Modern Mind, booking in some speaking arrangements at schools and things from mental health and mindset point of view, stuff, that's sort of the day job. And then 3, I'll leave the office, 4:35, I tend to do my evening session. I'll train in the morning sometimes as well, but at the moment most of my sessions are single days. And then, try and spend the evening to catch up on anything else that comes up, and then try to get at least an hour each evening to just sit and watch mindless television to switch off a little bit or something like that. So my first introduction to it was after 3 concussions in 4 weeks playing rugby. I got into just losing a lot of weight actually, so started just working on 5Ks, 10Ks, bit of road cycling here or there whilst keeping up my strength training as if I was a rugby player. Actually got injured doing that because I was just doing too much too soon when I was younger, and then decided to focus on strength work for almost 4 years, and then in 2018 committed to my first November charity campaign, which basically involved getting my strength, keeping my strength base as high as I could, which was up here, but my endurance base was up here. But to be able to sustain the ability to maintain that strength over time, I had to get my aerobic base right up. So I started doing long runs on a Saturday, just real low intensity zone 2 stuff, and actually just fell in love with it. And since then, did my first Ironman in May of 2019. And then since then I've done anything from 100-mile ultras to extreme triathlons to full distance triathlons to sprint distance triathlons to marathons in the Scottish Highlands to continuously ascending and descending Ben Nevis in 11 days. I just enjoy pushing myself really, and also I enjoy the creativity that it allows me to think up these challenges, think on these routes, explore these new places, and I still enjoy the strength training, and what I enjoy is they're very different disciplines. The strength work is very fast, very focused, very high intensity, sort of short burst stuff, and then the endurance stuff gives me a bit of peace and a bit of time to just enjoy that really basic motor skill over time and adapt aerobically. And I actually see the returns there in my strength work, my ability to turn over recovery between sets, my ability to get more work done, my ability to get more volume in. It's all concurrent to a point, but it's the trial and error of making it work is part of the fun. Number 1 is make sure you've got a date in the diary, something to look forward to, something to work towards and sort of work backwards from, so you can plan your training ahead of time. I think planning and being realistic about what you can achieve, the time frame that you can achieve it, and how you can manage the training for that around your day-to-day life so that you continue to enjoy it. Because if you set yourself a goal that you actually might not have the time to train for without it becoming a chore, then you might miss out on the experience of the process of getting there. And for me, the most value is in the process and the journey of getting to a goal rather than the actual goal itself. So I think be realistic, choose something that scares you, choose something that is manageable, choose something that you can work towards, and make sure that you are willing to commit what's required to get there. But I think the most important thing is don't be afraid to abandon goals if you stop enjoying them. There's no point in being hell-bent on achieving something because you said you were going to achieve it. Part of the value of these things is learning lessons along the way that actually better inform you as a human being. And there's been goals that I've changed or reworked as I've gone because the process has taught me different things, but that's where the value lies. So I think set goals as ways to look forward to certain things, but treat the process and the journey as the most important thing along the way. I think biggest athletic achievement is 500 pound squat and a 458 mile in the same day, so the 500 and sub 5. which was spoken about in CrossFit Level 1 for sort of 10, 12 years, I think. And it was me and somebody over in the States that did it within two weeks of one another. So it was quite an exciting summer last year. So from an athletic point of view, there's that. And then from a professional mental health charity point of view, having raised almost £100,000 for charity, that's something I'm very proud of. But I think at base level, I'm just really proud of the fact that I managed to share my personal mental health story with the world. And from a selfish point of view, that achievement has really opened me up as an individual, but I think it's opened me up for other things, for other individuals, which is really exciting. So, yeah, I find a lot of value in helping others, finding ways that I can be more useful for people other than myself, and I think that's an ongoing achievement that I'm proud of and want to keep working on. So the next immediate challenge is I've got the Outlaw Triathlon on July the 25th, where I'm aiming to go sub 12. So that's a full distance, iron distance triathlon, 3.8 kilometre swim, 180 kilometre bike, and a marathon, so 42.2k run, or 2.4 miles, 112 miles and 26.2 miles for anyone working in that realm. There is going to be a twist on that day with a strength twist, which I can't reveal just yet because I don't want to apply any pressure to myself ahead of time, but there is something there. Then I've got the Swedeman, which is the Swedish instalment of the Extreme Triathlon World Tour, 3.8k swim, 205k bike, and a mountain marathon, so about 3,000 meters of elevation, which is going to be a tough day out, but again, in a beautiful part of the world. Beyond that, I've got some fun things planned. I'm back over here in August and September for a few sort of functional fitness events. I've got another Extreme Triathlon or two potentially booked in, depending on travel restrictions, and then January, I'll be taking on what is due to be the biggest mental health focused physical project the UK has ever seen, I hope. But fingers crossed the government don't send us backwards and I can go ahead with that. But details are to be picked up again in August. But the plan is it'll be 3 months long and very interactive. And that's all I can say for the time being.